Burna Boy just performed at the Stade De France.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
Jeez. First of all, you have to understand what just happened. Burna Boy at the Stade de France. Stade de France is the national football stadium in France. For football games, I think around 81,000 capacity. For concerts, it goes up to 100,000 capacity.
Wow.
Now, Burna Boy has a serious love affair with France, especially Paris. I've had the opportunity to go and watch him in Paris once. That was at the La Défense Arena, which was about 40,000 capacity. It's the national stadium for the rugby team in France. That was 2 years ago. And there was one thing that I noticed. I told people all the time that watching Burna Boy in Paris, there's a different energy to it. And the reason is this. The fans in Paris are not only just Burna Boy fans for his hit music and his incredible performances. When you see them react to certain songs like Collateral Damage, like all these kind of songs, even Yay, people go emotional. There's a different kind of like African connection when it comes to France and Paris. And they see Burna Boy as another energy. There's this freedom fighter spirit that they see with him. There's this, this speaking truth to power energy that they see with him. And that also reflects in an interview that we saw on one of the biggest platforms in Paris that he had before the show, where he came on the show dressed in his agbada. There was an introduction that one of those presenters were making about him, and they were speaking specifically about his music, the fact that he's like Nigerian, he speaks in Yoruba culture, he talks about, freedom. His music was used during the Black Lives Matter movement. They also tried to ask him about how he feels about being a role model, which he always doesn't like to take on because people have too much expectations for who they call role models. Now, let's get back to the show. Incredible, groundbreaking. Burna Boy at the National Stadium in France, a non-French speaking artist, born and raised in Africa, born a Port Harcourt boy, taking over the world in such a stunning fashion. This brother has done 2 stadiums in London, the West Ham Stadium, twice in a row. He went to Paris, he did La Défense Arena. He went to New York. He did the Citi Field baseball arena. Now he's doing the National Stadium in Paris, where everybody that's a fan of his, if you weren't in that stadium, you were online watching the clips afterwards. What did he do? He brought out one of the hottest records in the Francophone community, the remix he jumped on that we talked about, Cat Campe with Joe Filet. Then he brought out Daju. This is actually probably the first time I've seen him perform that hit record with Daju in Paris. He brought Daju out. He brought Charlie Poppy out. That's the one that shut the whole world down. That's the most viral record right now. Lahore is taking over the world, and nobody expected to see Charlie Poppy on stage with Burna Boy. Not only that, Burna Boy having a verse on that record, which means that there's an official remix coming. Charlie Poppy featuring Burna Boy, that's going to completely shake the internet. Then he brought the UK guy out, Dave. If you see the clip with Dave coming in, the noise was, Burna Boy singing Location. A lot of people have gotten used to Burna Boy singing Location in Europe without Dave. So nobody expected Dave to show up. So when the doors opened and Dave walked in and started, send me the location, the place, the noise went, wow! Crazy. Listen, without doubt, this man is a serious ambassador for Nigeria that's doing incredible things. I said it recently to someone that interviewed me a couple days ago. If you're not a fan or an appreciator, someone that appreciates any one of these top ends, especially what Burna is doing, you are a complete hater. Another big question that people are throwing, I don't know if you asked that question, is, does this mean Burna Boy is the official biggest artist out of Africa? That's the question people always ask. But I think if we're talking about facts, figures, and numbers, if anybody argues against that, they are just downright wrong. He's done stadiums in London. He's done the largest stadium in France now. He's done the biggest stadium in Trinidad and Tobago. He did the National Stadium of Jamaica. He did the biggest stadium in Antigua. He went to New York and did a stadium. Top 5 albums that are most streamed on Spotify, Burnaboys got 2. Top 10 albums most streamed on Spotify, African or Afrobeats, anyhow you want to cut it, he's got 3. Ticket sales, streams, fan bases, you have to say right now he's leading the charge globally at a serious rate. And this performance in France, you have to understand, in France, I believe it's about 90% of the music that's played on radio and television has to be French music. So for anybody to go into France to be able to sell anything close to 100,000 tickets, anything from 50 to 100,000 tickets, is nothing but a global superstar of them Beyonce, Chris Brown levels. And that's what that performance has now proven to us. Whether you like it or not, if you appreciate good music, great performances, and incredible ambassadorial duties, you've got to say, Burna Tuale.